Howdy-ho, neighborinos. Welcome to the first video for Cybersecurity for Civilians 1A. This is the first of my short videos on this topic. Thanks so much for joining me, and let's go. So what do we mean by cybersecurity? Well, there's lots of good definitions out there, I guess, but I wanted to keep my definition really simple. So my definition is keeping the bad guys off your computer and out of the stuff on your computer. So what type of stuff are we talking about? Well, stuff like your banking info, your credit card / ATM card info, your private information such as your health information, your social security number, the contact information for your family and friends. The bad guys want this stuff, and cybersecurity is an effort to keep them from getting that stuff. Now, before we proceed, there's a misunderstanding or two that I need to clear up about this topic. As you might have noticed, we do live in a fallen world, and as such, there is no such thing as perfect security for anybody's computer. Well, actually, I guess there's one way you could have perfect security. You could follow the example of this guy. That's really the only way you're going to have perfect security. However, we do need to keep a little perspective on this. Here's a good illustration. Let's say that somebody has $30 million and 10 years to break into your house. Now, I'm sure you have a great security system, but there's no way that anybody who has $30 million and 10 years could not break into your house, right? But the question is, why would they? What in your house is worth all that money and time and effort? So our purpose is not to give you perfect security, which doesn't exist in this world, but to make it more difficult and costly for the bad guys to break in and get your stuff. Now, with that out of the way, let's talk about our main topic. The number one threat to you and yours, as you might have guessed, is email. Now, what is the threat with email? How do the bad guys try to get you through your email? Well, the main way they do that is through phishing. Well, what is phishing? Well, for the remainder of this part of the presentation about email and phishing, I do need to give credit to greenbeanit.com. They're a local IT company in Grapevine, Texas, and they provided this information so graciously on the website. Their definition of phishing, which is a good one, is the fraudulent practice of sending emails purporting to be from reputable companies or people known to the target in order to induce individuals to reveal personal information such as passwords and credit card numbers, or to install malware on the target's computer. They list 5 red flags for you to be on the lookout when you have an email. Their first red flag is intimidation or rushing. If you receive an email unexpectedly that is requesting information, money, or other actions in an unusually short period of time, then you should always be suspicious. By rushing or intimidating you, hackers are hoping that you won't take time to scrutinize the email for flaws. Be alert, aware, and thorough as you look for phishing emails. Red flag number 2, small mistakes. Emails with poor grammar or illogical sentence sequence should be evaluated. Vague headers or generic greetings such as "Hello, customer" could be an indicator. Additionally, the "from" email address could be very similar to the contact. Hackers use letters that appear similar, such as an RN instead of an M, to better fool you and have the opportunity to gain valuable information. Red flag number 3, request for private information. If someone requests private or sensitive information, this should raise a red flag. These requests can be elaborate and seem valid, but you have to evaluate if the requested information should be sent at all. A common situation we encounter is a CEO asks for information that he should already possess or know. Phishing emails requesting sensitive data will probably be coupled with other red flags. And then we had red flag number 4, request to open an email attachment. If you receive an email attachment that you weren't expecting, has an odd file name, or appears to be coming from someone who doesn't normally send you files, begin searching for other red flags to determine if the email is malicious. Do not open or download the attachment until you have verified with the sender that the email is not malicious. And then we get red flag number 5, spoofed URLs and hyperlinks. Before we get into this, I just want to clarify the term URL. That is just a technical term for a website link. An example would be Amazon.com or Google.com. If you see the term URL, you can just translate that in your mind as website link. So hackers are skilled at making email addresses and hyperlinks look like the real thing. If you have any suspicions, hover over the link without clicking to see if the web address matches what is listed. For spoofed email addresses, click to reply and check the email address in the To field to determine if it is correct. So here is an example of an email that I just pulled out of my spam box the other day. Let's see if we can pick out some red flags that we talked about a minute ago, shall we? First thing I notice, last reminder. They are trying to instill in you a sense of urgency so that you will not think about what the email is or who it's from and just go ahead and click on stuff and reply to the email. Another red flag is a very odd looking email address right here. That's not good. Also notice that they want you to click on a link that they have in the email. My pointer from my mouse is hovering over the link, not clicking on it. And when I hover over it, you can see on the bottom of the screen where the link would have taken you if you clicked on it. Some final tips on fishy emails. Number 1, if there's a link in the email from someone you know, call or text the sender. Obviously, if you email the sender back asking them, hey, is this legitimate? If their email is compromised, then the bad guy can intercept that. Find another way of contacting the sender to confirm if the email is legit. Number 2, don't click on the link in an email unless you are expecting that email with that link from a sender. It's a good idea, just as a rule of thumb, don't click on the link in an email. And if it is from someone that you do business with, like your bank, then go to their website, like chase.com, and log in from there. Do not click on the link in the email. I made that caps just to really hammer that home. Okay, so that's it for this topic. Thank you so much for watching, and now it is on to the next video.